Alright, over the past series of videos, we've covered what angles are, types of angles, we've discovered a couple of things about supplementary, complementary, angles around a point, angles on a straight line, fun angles. We're gonna now start using them. Alright, we're going to start using them to answer questions. Try to answer this question. Now, one thing you want to understand is there's different ways in geometry to get the answer. As long as the method you've chosen makes sense, it's perfectly fine. So let me first show you the first option we have for this one. I can first say that I want to use angles in a straight line over here. That means x plus 40 is equal to 180. Now, whenever I do something in geometry, I'm going to give a reason. The reason here is going to be sum of angles on a straight line add up to equal to 180. So that's my reason. I solve this by moving the 40 across. So 180 minus 40 and x is equal to 140 degrees. I could have then gone and said, at this point, I could have said, right now I want to use x and y on a straight line and done this whole process again. Or I can say, you know what, y and 40 are vertically opposite angles. So I can do that. So I can say y is equal to 40 degrees. And my reason is vertically opposite angles are equal. So vertically opposite angles are equal. For number 2, this one here is straightforward. There's no real other option. What you're gonna do is you see that these are angles on a straight line. So I'm gonna say 3x plus 4x is equal to 3x plus 4x plus 40 is equal to 180. The reason is sum of angles on a straight line add up to equal to 180. I can then start solving this by grouping my like terms. 3x plus 4x is 7x equals 180. Moving my 40 across, I get minus 40. So 7x is equal to 140. I can then divide both sides by 7 and x is equal to 20. Alright, so I've solved for x here. Number 3. For number 3, I need to find the values of y, t, and z. So the way we can do this first is the only thing we have is this 40, so I've got to use it. And the only way to use 40, well, I could have used 40 first on the straight line here to get this angle. I could have used 40 on the straight line there to get that angle. I could have used 40 here as vertically opposite to get this angle. But none of those are part of the things we want. You can do it and go ahead and try to get the next one. But I'm going to just use this to get one of my answers directly. The easiest thing I can see is there's an F shape over here. So understanding that I have an F shape over here, I'm gonna say that those interior angles of my F shape are equal. So y is equal to 40. Reason, corresponding angles are equal. Now whenever you use a property based on parallel lines, you should say which lines are parallel. So in this case, the line AB is parallel to the line CT. Alright, so now that I have a 40 here, I'm gonna put that 40 there. I can then use angles on a straight line here. I can say that the 40 from the Y plus the Z is equal to 180 degrees. Reason is sum of angles on a straight line add up to equal to 180. Then z is equal to 180 minus 40. So z is equal to 140 degrees. So this is 140. I can then use that 140 as vertically opposite there and say that t is equal to 140, and my reason is vertically opposite angles are equal. For number 4, this one here just has two angles, so we're gonna use them directly. You should pause the video and think about it before I go ahead and give you the method and answer. But I notice that I have an F shape here. It's a backwards F shape, yes, but still an F shape. So this angle and this angle are equal to each other. So we can say 3x minus 10 is equal to x plus 50. And the reason is corresponding, plus 50 corresponding angles are equal. And then we say that KR is parallel to MN. You can then solve this by moving things across. So 3x minus x is equal to 50 plus 10. 2x is equal to 60. Divide both sides by 2, and x is equal to 30. Right, for the next one. Now, for this one, we've got quite a bit happening. Definitely take the opportunity to pause this video and try it out. So let's see what we have. We have a parallel line here, a parallel line here. We have one here and here. Z, T, X, 22, and Y. These are the important bits of information. We're going to need to find all these letters. Let's start with the letter X. So X is a part of this angle here, and we realize that there's a 90 here. A 90 means complementary. So there's two angles in this 90 over here, right here. The X and the 22 are complementary. So we say X plus 22 is equal to 90 degrees. And the reason is complementary angles. Now you can solve that by saying x equals to 90 minus 22. So x is equal to 68 degrees. Alright, then we can say now that I have x, you should actually try to find a couple of things, alright? So look for some of your fun angles. Alright, and after you've done pausing the video and trying, you can play the video and carry on. So the first one, I can see I can get a y if I can use a z shape right over here. So if I put a z shape over there, I can see that I'm gonna have this angle equal to this angle, and x we already found out to be 68 degrees. So now that I can see that, I can say that the y value from the z is equal to the 68 at x, and the reason is alternate angles are equal. And I say which lines are parallel. It's FG is parallel to CT. Alright, so now there's my 68 over there. The next thing I can see is that I now can find angle Z. But how is that exactly gonna happen? So angle Z is actually a part of a U shape here. So let's look at that again. Let me just redraw that U. So there's a U shape right there, where Z and this 22 that was there initially are part of a U shape. So I can say that 22 plus Z is equal to 180. Remember that the U shape is complementary. So its co-interior angles add up to equal to 180. And we say which lines are parallel. So AB is parallel to DE. I can then solve for Z by taking 180 minus 22. So Z should equal to 158. So here's 158 here now. And the last thing I need to find is T. And if you've spotted it, you should see that T and Z are vertically opposite angles. So T is equal to 158. Reason is vertically opposite angles are equal. Right. So for the next part, we're going to do number 6. So have a look at number 6. What do you think we're going to do here? So here's a clue. The first thing is you have a 30 on this angle, an X here, you have a 60 and a Y and a Z. And your clue is to find X first. How? Well, this is a U shape. And then how do you find Y after you found X? So this is also a U shape. Alright, so let's see what's gonna happen now. So for the red part, we can say X plus 30 is equal to 180. And the reason there is co-interior angles add up to equal to 180. And you say what's parallel, so PQ is parallel to AB. Then X is equal to 150. For that purple bit, you say Y plus 60 is equal to 180. Then you'll say co-interior angles add up to 180. And in this second U shape, our parallel lines are AB and TS. Y is equal to 120. Now you have 150 here and you have 120 here. Around this point here, you can apply angles around a point. So you can say 150 plus 120 plus Z is equal to 360. And that's sum of angles around a point add up and equal to 360. So then you can say 150 plus 120 is 270 plus Z equals 360. Z is equal to 360 minus 270. So Z is equal to 90 degrees. And that's going to be your answer for Z. Alright, so this is our last question for geometry of straight lines with your fun angles and all of these. Pause the video and try to think about what you would do. Yeah. So the first thing that's throwing us off is this 115. It's this entire angle. Okay. Now we need this angle X. Now, can we find something that might be equal to angle X? So if you've spotted it, you can sort of have a Z shape here, right? So if you know this angle here, it will be equal to that angle. But we don't know this angle. We know the entire angle. can I get this somehow? Well, yeah, I can actually. If I know this, I can subtract it from 115 to get this, and then I can use that to equal to this. Now, how do I get that angle I'm talking about? So the way I can do that is I can realize that I have uh over here I actually have a U shape. So if I look at this U shape, I can say that this angle here, for now, let's just give it a temporary angle. Let's just say Y for now. So I can say Y plus 120 is equal to 180 because the U shape is co-interior angles add up to equal to 180. So Y in this case is going to equal to 60. So this here is 60 degrees. Now this red angle here is going to be equal to 115 minus 60, which is going to be 55. So if this is 55, I can say that x equals 55, and my reason is alternate angles, because this angle is equal to this angle from the Z shape.